It is now a privilege for me to present our 2017 honorary degrees. I first ask the Reverend Dr. William Barber to join me at the podium. Reverend Barber, welcome back to the campus where you received your doctoral degree in ministry after graduating cum laude from North Carolina Central University and receiving a Master of Divinity degree from Duke University, in addition to an honorary doctoral degree in Humane Letters from North Carolina Central University. The Reverend Dr. Barber is pastor of Greenleaf Christian Church, president of the North Carolina NAACP, convener of the historic Thousands on Jones Street People's Assembly Coalition, and founder of Moral Mondays, a multiracial, multi-ethnic movement. Reverend Dr. Barber has served as the executive director of the North Carolina Human Relations Commission. He is currently a visiting professor at Union Theological Seminary. He has been an adjunct instructor at North Carolina Wesleyan, North Carolina Central University, and Duke Divinity School, and on the board of trustees of two colleges. He has also served as a Mel King Community Fellow at MIT's Community Innovators Lab. Notably, Reverend Barber was re-elected to the NAACP National Board in 2011 and appointed as the National NAACP Chair of the Legislative Political Action Committee. Under his leadership, the NAACP developed a new 21st century voter registration, voter participation system. As president of the North Carolina NAACP, he has led fundraising efforts and led the North Carolina NAACP State Conference to national recognition when he accepted the Juanita Jackson Mitchell Esquire Award for legal activism. In addition, the North Carolina NAACP became the recipient of the Thalheimer Award for most programmatic NAACP state conference. Reverend Barber has written 3 books, Preaching Through Unexpected Pain, Forward Together, and The Third Reconstruction, and several articles. You may recognize him because he's been featured on CNN, MSNBC, The New York Times, and in Crisis Magazine. He has spoken, preached, and lectured around the country, and we are so very pleased to have him back home with us at Drew today. Reverend Dr. Barber, by authority of the Board of Trustees of Drew University, I confer upon you the Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. Congratulations, Reverend William Barber. I now invite you to share with us your sesquicentennial message to honor the 150 years that the Drew Theological School has been educating religious scholars and community leaders. Reverend Barber.
Madam President and my friend Dean Vieira, I am thankful to God and humbled by this honorary degree. When I came to Drew, I was actually crippled. I had not been able to walk for some years. Someone suggested very lovingly that it would not be a disgrace not to finish if it was too hard, but I'm so thankful for the way in which many people here at Drew embraced me and allowed me to matriculate here. To all of the graduates, the greatest honor I believe in life is to be honored in the work of service to others. The Bible declares that the measure of life is to do justice and love mercy and walk humbly before God. Jesus said, "He that is greatest among you, let them be your servant." 150 years ago, Madam President, Drew University was founded to educate servants. Its first president was an abolitionist who was charged with inciting a riot because he stood up against slavery and injustice. Graduates, we ought to all pray that in our time we might also be charged because we choose to stand for what is right against what is wrong. In a time when politicians who have health care try to take health care from the very people that elected them, and health care is not seen as a human right, not something you should only have if you can buy it, let us hope that we are charged because we choose to stand for what is right against what is wrong. When racism in systemic form is still alive through voter suppression and criminalization, let us hope that we too are charged because we choose to stand for what is right against what is wrong. When far too many want to sing "God Bless America, God shed His grace on us," but then we refuse to have grace, and we instead choose to be afraid of the other, the immigrant other, the gay other, the Muslim other. Let us hope that we are charged because we stand for what is right against what is wrong. When poverty, because of systemic and pornographic greed, and a philosophy that treats corporations like people and people like things, when poverty still exists in ways and numbers that are totally unacceptable and contrary to our moral, religious, and constitutional call to establish justice and care for the poor, let us hope that in our time we too are charged because we choose to stand for what is right against what is wrong. When education is too often underfunded, and when the war economy is overfunded, and we have forces that refuse to take care of Mother Earth but would name a weapon of destruction the mother of all bombs, let us hope that in this moment we too are charged because we choose to stand for what is right versus what is wrong. Yes, we should be accused of protesting injustice. Yes, we too should be accused of inciting a nonviolent riot against the forces of injustice. And I pray today that all of you will be accused at some point of your life, that you will be accused of being a part of those who protest injustice in the name of love and in the name of truth and in the name of mercy. I, in fact, hope that this 149th graduation inducts you into the society of those past and present who recognize that in every generation somebody has to be charged for standing up for justice. Lastly, in every generation, we must have moral dissenters who challenge the notions and hypocrisy of evil, oppression, and injustice. In every generation, we must have moral defibrillators who recognize when the nation has a heart problem, who recognize when we are suffering from a moral arrhythmia and choose to use their lives in nonviolent methods to shock the heart and the soul of this nation. And in every generation, we must have moral dreamers who refuse to give in to the nightmarish realities and the ugliness of injustice, but instead they continue to believe and live subversive dreams rooted in God's power to revive, redeem, and resurrect us from any valley of injustice and any moment of social misery. It is with this hope and belief, Madam President, that I received this honorary degree of Humane Letters. It is with this hope and belief that I pray that every graduate here and every person here will leave here recognizing that the true measure of life is not the size of your bank account or the buildings you own and put your name on them or the power that you possess, but the true measure of life is, did you work? Did you strive to feed the hungry, to care for the sick, to loose the prisoners, and to care for the least of these? I pray that when you graduate here today, you will continue to try to be a servant of love and justice until the day comes that you meet your Maker and you hear your Maker say, "Well done, thy good and faithful servant." God bless you. God bless you.